Melissa Bartlett, and your boy Kerry Bixby. It's your show, so tell us what you want to talk about. It's at the Roundtable podcast show.
Welcome to another edition of At the Roundtable podcast show. How you doing over there, Miss Pitbull?
I am great. I am fabulous. You know how I am. It's Wednesday, the middle of the week. That means the weekend's coming. And when on Wednesdays, I know I'm halfway through and I get to see my brothers minus one. We are missing our brother, Kerry Disby, better known as CD, the one who stirs something up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited about the show tonight and ready to get it started. How are you doing, A Money?
Hey, I am doing well, sis. I appreciate you asking. I certainly appreciate you asking. I am really looking forward to this interview tonight. Yes, but let me give you your proper introduction before we go ahead and introduce our guests. Again, this is Miss Pitbull, the one who holds nothing back, the one who tells it like it is, the matriarch of this podcast.
You make me sound so important and interesting and a little intimidating too. Jeez, can I get I am a protector. I'm naturally a protector because of being an older sibling and a Leo. So you already know I'm going to speak my mind and I'm not going to apologize for it. And A Money, you already know we call you A Money because you bring us good guests, you bring us good topics, and you bring us good facts to back those up. And when we know you bringing it, we can bank on it. And so that's why we call you A Money.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that introduction. Now, let's go ahead and dig into the crust of why we're here today with this special guest. Again, I'm going to go ahead and let you do the introductions, Miss Pitbull.
Okay. Family, we have a queen, and that is just not a word that I throw around lightly as our guest. She's an artist. She has a podcast show herself. She's a film producer. This woman has a resume that is just so interesting. And it took, I like to do my background, and I was up till about 12 o'clock just going through different things that she's either been associated with, attached to, or actually produced. And I'm excited about it. So here she is, Miss Kareesh Forreal. Welcome, Queen.
Welcome. Thank you, Queen. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about being here and being a part of the show. And I'm excited. I'm overexcited.
Great. We're just as excited as I know you are as well. So let's talk about your one of your many things that Melissa just got through listening. So one of them is a recording artist. So what brought you into that realm?
What brought me to that realm? My family is a music family. My father had a record deal by the time he was 23. Mm-hmm. He went from secular to gospel. And then I just used to travel with my grandmother all the time. And she was just like, oh, my little baby girl can sing. So from that and just going back and forth in different projects that I was doing. And I was like, I really want to do this. So I had the opportunity to run track and field professionally. And then an opportunity came about being a background dancer, an assistant in the industry. So I was like, wait a minute. I'm going to practice every day. It's 3-4 hours in the heat. So I was like, wait, I could just be cute, still be able to go around the world and enjoy what I want to do. So I think I'm going to do that. So I just went into doing that. I did background vocals or performances for a lot of mainstream artists. So that brought me the opportunity to learn from the industry's elites, the best. And it was very hands-on. So I just cultivated my natural ability and then just started from there. And they gave me the ins and outs, the real truths of what you need to do. So I did that in about 2015. I came back. I was doing a lot of work overseas. And I was like, oh gosh, I'm just going to step out and do this thing as a soloist. So from there, I just started doing it and I love it. So yeah. It was something that was able to be my therapy and just express. So I was like, and I'm a daddy's girl. So I was like, yeah, my daddy did it.
Certainly not. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yes.
Now, I have a question as far as track and field. Some people who have an opportunity that starts out where you're doing this professionally. So this isn't a middle school activity or even on the collegiate level where you're like kind of cross your fingers, but you're already planning for that plan B or that fallback.
Correct.
How do you feel each phase, everything that you were a part of has prepared you to be where you are right now? Great where you are, because you have to, number one, have endurance, which
yes,
all of your pictures, family, if you haven't looked at her pictures, like the queen is bad. Okay. You hear me? And so I was looking, I'm like, wow, I figured you did something. I didn't know that it was track and field. So how do you kind of take each experience and build off of that to keep going and keep being the great one that you are?
Well, thank you. What I did, even applying track and field, it required discipline, consistency. And for me, like I said, it was like a form of therapy as well. So it would be where, it would say, different lanes that was on the track. So I'm like, okay, well, I only can concentrate on my lane, because if I look to the right or the left, I'm not concentrating on winning. And then I'm allowing somebody else the opportunity to get ahead. So I'm competitive. And it was just a way to also just let go. And that's how I look and view life. So I was in Division I, and I was at multiple levels of invitationals that were for long jump, 100, 200, 400, anchored, both relays.
Wow.
Everything was just like, okay, well, let me try and see if I can do that. And I'm like, oh, damn, I'm good at that. So it just allowed me to say, okay, whatever I'm focusing on, you have to practice and you have to do what you need to do in order to achieve. And I've applied that method to everything in life. And because once I start worrying about somebody else or distraction, then that allows someone else to get ahead, but not even just someone else to get ahead. I'm losing time. And, time waits for no one. So that's my only competition besides my older self. So just continuing to be better, physically, mentally, like it pulled in everything that you need to be in order to be a champion, to be a winner. And at times where I wasn't first, I'm second or third or even fourth or fifth, and I'm looking where I'm still amongst the greats. So I always applied my standards to be higher and better than. So even if I fall short, I'm still above the standard. So I just used that and the discipline that my grandmother instilled in me. She was like, baby, cuteness is not going to get you through the world. You never know when you're going to find your mates. And that's not going to pay the bills, and she was like, learn everything so you can be good at it, so that's what I did. And she put me in a lot of things where I just concentrated and say, okay, if I concentrate and just say, okay, you can, this is what it is. You're speaking it into existence, manifestation. So it's just like, okay, at those different levels, I was like, okay, well, I can achieve that. What else can I do? Because I can only be the best version of myself. So it just really instilled a lot and allowed me to be a leader and a follower. And when I say a follower, I should say that I don't use it a position as a form of, oh, I'm over somebody. I'm always a student of life. So it just allowed me to just open up to a lot of things. And even traveling the world, it allowed me to say, okay, you can't take what someone else says or just by reading a book. Because if you haven't gone farther out, then you don't know if the world is real. So I really learned that a lot of things in life, you know, it's different. You know, when I went overseas, you know, they look at Americans different ways, well, we're spoiled or etc. And then now I can see how they feel those different ways. So we can't just rely on what somebody tell you. And, you know, just like I would say a lot of my mentors, they say, tell a vision. You know, it's telling their vision, their version. So what's yours? So I can only go through life and accept and be accountable, I should say, for my efforts and what I do and how my part in the world is a purpose to help make it better.
Well said. Well said. So,
Yeah.
holding yourself up to a high standard. Let's talk about that. Life of the party.
Yes.
Voila. I hope I'm pronouncing that.
Voila.
Yes.
Yes.
Now that one almost looked like a feature film. I had the chance to take a look at that. And that was some smooth stuff. So
yes.
So how involved are you with the creative process of doing videos like that?
I'm very involved. I love it because I'm a writer and just a creative. And I love teaming up with my brother, Crucifix, Marlon Goodwin, and he's just a genius in everything that he does. So every time that we get together on a project, it was like, you know, how are we gonna, you know, top the other one? But for me, I'm very involved. I did the writing for the treatment. I found the locations, the actors. So what I love about it with him and then the other people in my team, whatever I envision in my mind, they'll be able to bring it to fruition. So it was just like, oh, okay. So I was like, okay, I wanted this storyline. And I love that you said that because I wanted my videos to stand out and be a story where other people can relate to it different ways. And for me, because there's no judgment for me. So I'm just like, okay, so if I put a little twist here, you know, and it's just showing versatility as well. So I love it, and where I can express my creativity through that. So I'm very involved in all my projects. I do respect whoever I bring on to the team to bring it out. So I'm not like, I'm not that type of person. I'm like, okay, let's make everything from scratch. You know, I'm not a diva, you know, or how they have the Zillas. I'm not that. But I'm very, very involved in my project because at the end of the day, what I tell the persons that I work with is that you're an expert in what I want you to bring to the table in regards to my vision. Yet at the end of the day, that's me, my brand, my name. So whatever comes out, I gotta bite the bullet. If it's bad and get a bad relapse, it's me that have to say, okay, I apologize or whatever, or this is my view and why I did so. So I'm very much involved. A lot of my stuff is customized, so from scratch. Even with my music, I'm right there with my producers, and we're making it from the first beat all the way to writing. I have started bringing in other people as well as far as co-writing, which for me is really good because it's as a creative, then you get to see others, other point of views, other style, wordplay. So even with my latest single that's out, I Want It All, that was co-written it with Jay Styles. So it was really fun. I'm like, this is a story that I got to tell. And he was like, okay, but we got to make it a little anthem a little bit. And, you know, I did a lot of different types of genres of music. So it came a point of time where, you know, you have people that make comments, not that I live for comments, but it was like, okay, who is Kareesh? Because when I went overseas and I was doing dance or pop, then you don't have that versatility like R&B or gospel. And it was like, hey, you got to, you know, bring it back. When I was in New York with doing Broadway or off-Broadway shows, you know, you can't have that distinctiveness. So I was like, oh, shoot, how am I going to do that? So having to be accustomed to that. And then people's like, well, can she really sing? So I was like, Styles. So he was like, wait a minute. I was like, yeah, I'm going to just flex a little bit on here just to let him know that, I can go from the floor to the ceiling or through the ceiling. And so I really loved it. And he allowed me to help me, I should say, to connect, the feeling of the song and what I was going through, or some of the hardships that others that we had witnessed, so other people can just really connect with the song. So that's what I loved about each of my songs, are what I call my signatures in different ways. Where, like the party, I was, gosh, I love dance, I miss dance. Everybody just going to the club, just on their phones, or at that time it was like a lot of just Nicki Minaj was really, really hot at the time. So it's just that type of music, and I'm like, damn, nobody dance, nobody is happy. And I'm a dancer by trade, and I was a background dancer. Damn, we ain't got nothing to dance to. So that's what that emoted, where it was a crossover for me, because I did jazz, neo soul. So with this, I was like, okay, we're going to show the R&B side and just get things going. So I was so excited about that.
That's what I call skills.
That's it. You can hear it.
Yes.
So when I'm listening to it, so Life of the Party, I had it on last night, and I'm like, I need something that's going to keep me going, because I had something that I needed to finish. And I'm like, ooh, I need to put this on.
Right.
I want it all. True story. So I have it on in the car, and sunroof's open, and I got it up. It was one of those days. It was a sunny day, like before last week. Yes. Before we started getting rain in Charlotte. And, I'm like just jamming, and I think success in anything that you are doing in any industry, any area, it has to be relatable. And every woman, and guys too, know that. And when you hit that, I want it all, it's just simple, but it packs so much of a message, right?
Yes.
And it's a declaration. And so the song, I'm like, oh, this has got to go on the workout playlist and the car playlist, because riding around, because it has just been there. And then of course, I got through what I needed to get through last night, and I'm like, I really wanted to post a message like, this song has gotten me through a task that I needed to finish. It kept me where I needed to stay at the energy. But then it made me feel a little sad, because I'm like, I miss having a night where you could just go out and dance, and pandemic sucks. Right. But I can have my party right here. So being able to be in different facets from dance to, athleticism to, do you see, feels like you have gospel or church at your roots? Do you see yourself doing a gospel album, or maybe collabing on some things?
Maybe collabing. I am like a free spirit. So as far as my dad would be like, yes, she's gonna do one. Yes. So between him and one of my best friends, and they always joke and say, the girl that came back to the church on Color Purple, that's you. We want you to do a song like that. We want you to hit that gospel. So for me, I just say I don't oppose it, because I know through my music and what my family had to realize, because they're heavily into the church, was that that's not my calling or my ministry, because I've touched so many lives through the different avenues that goes beyond the church walls, or people just meeting on Sunday. So now they see the difference and they accept that and welcome that. But I do see myself one of those. So I would love, and I love how gospel has evolved as well. So I can see that. Yeah.
Yes. Because I'm, in my head, I'm already like, I could see her with Cobbs, or I could see her with, yeah. So I was already there with you. You have a podcast, and I love the organic feel of it as well. And just tell me how how that came about. Dream Hustle Win podcast.
Yes.
That's
mm-hmm.
What is the basis of that, and how did that come about?
Oh my gosh. Okay. When I say manifestations 2020, I said I was going to be a household name, a mogul mindset. That came from just an interview like this. And they've been watching me for a while, and it was like, you're different. And, I applauded that and pulled it in because it was so many people that have worked with, the mainstream artists or continuously are working with mainstream artists now. So they was like, you doing this all by yourself, and you pushing and you have that it factor. You want to be a part of our family. So I was like, oh, okay. This is another challenge. And I started from 45 minutes. And so they came back and it was like, you're getting great reception from it. We want to extend you to 2 hours. 2? And I was like, oh, okay. And I love it because it also has allowed me, because previously I did radio and was one of the first independent radio and syndicated out of Charlotte. About 5 years ago, it's called Certified Show. And it went out ways because we were, evolving. But with that show, it allowed us to met some people. And so for this one, it just put me on a bigger platform. And I'm like, wow, for it be the #1 millennium platform millennials and reaching out to other artists that are pursuing their dreams. And I hear so many stories, or they come in inbox, or when I'm interviewing them, they're like, oh my God, you're interviewing me, like you're inspiring me. And I was like, okay, so I'm into my purpose. I just love it. And it also allows me to have a good platform, more positivity, because we got to balance and just make a difference. So I love that with that opportunity, they also allow me and mentored me in regards to the business side of it and being an artist as well. I'm all about my business. And it even evolved into where we became partners. So I'm like, okay. So just getting that reception, by people and then just colleagues, I'm just in awe. But I have to look at it where even my mentors, they tell me, like, you've planted so many seeds. It's time, and your seeds are now flourishing into the flowers. You just need to go ahead and do it. So I'm elated because it allowed me to also usher in others, especially women of color. Mm-hmm. We have it hard in the industry. So I have others that I'm mentoring, in different avenues of the industry. And then also just when they come into me and they're like, I'm a single mom, or I just came out of a broken relationship and I'm just at my point where I don't know what to do or where to go. And for some reason, universe, brought them my way. And what messages that I have, it's fulfilling and uplifting. Even with music, that was to get their attention, but to feed them the intention that the people that come on or who I work with, from presidential candidate. She was the first female presidential candidate from South Carolina, and she came off of the Breakfast Club. And then flew right down to Charlotte, and she interviewed with me. So it's just allowed me so many different opportunities in so many different ways, like behind the scenes in the community, on camera. And then I'm like, okay, I'm being sharper as a producer, a director. And it's just lovely that now seeing more people that look like us are on camera. And I have people that from, they are millionaires, and they're coming to the show and they're calling in like, I've had an addiction problem, and with COVID, they couldn't go in to see their group. So everything was virtual. And it was like things that you talk about, it stemmed where it opened up conversation with me and my son, where it was really like a gray area. They were having rough times. And she was like, I look forward to your shows and just to learn different things about me, self-awareness, or how I project on the others or others project onto me. And so I was just excited, like, okay, I'm in my purpose. I'm in my purpose. So it helps me to be encouraged that no matter what other people say, know what's best for you and what you supposed to do. Because a lot of the times it became where, people was like, oh, you're a woman, you got to give up, whatever to get different things. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna work hard, and I'm gonna put myself to the table. And if you don't want to have me at your table, I'm going to create my own table. And that's what happened, where I was able to create my own table. People came up to it. But then I also tell them, the ones that come up to the table, I don't want you to just come and sit at my table. I want you to create your table so we can have a bigger room. And I said an arena of tables. So you have yours and I have mine, but we're all connected for a better and a bigger purpose. So I always say my purpose is bigger than me. And so I'm just elated that this was one avenue where I didn't think it was going to escalate as quickly as it did. But only thing I can do is be grateful for it.
I view some of the shows, and again, you have such a charisma. There are some people that have great talent, have great skill, and they execute, and that's exactly how it comes off. However, what it is that you do, you can tell that there was so much more, and that's why I was so excited to have you on the show, so our family can get to know that. What else is it? Because it's more than, as you stated, even from track and field, you know what to do. You can follow orders, you follow a regiment, you know how to be disciplined. And there's people that need those boxes. They need those instructions, those directions. And some of that thing keeps them motivated, and some of that keeps people, online. And then you have other people where they take it and they grow with it. And you're one of those people who keep it organic, fluid, and it just keeps you focused on what you need to do. So I was just like, I can't wait to talk to her, because I could just tell that there was so much more to you than, she popped on the scene, she's talented, she has this song out, and da-da-da. Like, it was just so much more. When I saw the energy, I saw the chemistry, I saw the charisma in your shows, the few that I watched, I was like, this queen is a total package. Like,
thank you. Yes.
To play with.
Yes. No playing.
There's nothing to play with here. Not at all.
No. You have to go in all the way. If it's something that truly love, you really have to invest, and that's financially, emotionally, and have to give up, the extracurricular at times. And you have to really focus and get what you want. So that's the only way that the 1% makes it. You have to focus. So I love it.
That's so true. That's so true. So we have talked about you being a recording artist. Melissa brought up podcasting. Let's segue into actress. So so let's talk about quarantine relationship.
Woo!
So I happened to see a trailer for the movie itself, and forgive me for saying this, but your character looked a little crazed. So
she was.
So
she was.
Again, our word of relatable, because a lot of us have been. Right. It
was relatable.
So tell us about the movie and your character in the movie.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the movie, like you said, was Quarantine Relationship. And my character, basically we were in the lockdown, COVID, and she didn't know that she was in a relationship with an undercover cop. So they're trying to figure out how to adjust with COVID, and then also get rid of this dead body that's in there. So, and like you said, Queen, it's relatable when you got somebody tell you that they love you, and then you find out it's a whole nother life. This person got a whole nother life going on, a whole nother life partner. And she pretty much, snap, and there's a good twist to it. And I'm so elated. Like, it took us like maybe 3 weeks. Each day was like 12 to 16 hours. So I know a lot of people don't understand. It's so much that goes into it. So I had just came from doing 2 podcast interviews. Let me see, got there maybe about 3 o'clock in the morning, up at 6 to be ready for makeup. And then we didn't start filming sometimes until maybe it was 10 in the morning. And then we go all the way to like 1 or 2. So you, like you said, you have to have that discipline and that love for it. But I really love the movie. And some of my friends, they was like, yeah, that's the side. Did they just pay you to be you? I was like, no, I just pulled from other people that I've seen and witnessed, but I just love it. And just the reaction from it, because it actually came out like 2 to 3 weeks before. And shout out to Maverick Movies, Nelson and Nakia Hamilton. He's the writer, director, and he filmed it. And they were so excited when they got the trailer. They was like, we're not waiting. And that first, I think within the first 24 to 48 hours, we had over 46,000 views on YouTube. Wow. And now, it was the top movie on Tubi. So I was like, okay, that's me. So, I'm getting adjusted to even. It was like, that's the lady that was on the movie. She was the crazy one. So yeah, that's me. But it was like, we loved the movie. So I was so happy to be a part of that. And, for me, it helped to catapult a different side of me as an actress in a drama, thriller, suspense. So because I'm used to, my other characters that I play on web series, What's Your Chocolate, and other projects, I played another type of character. So I was so happy that I was able to, pull in all that anger and seeing other things, and I could just really put it out. So I was like, okay. So versatility, yes. Versatility, yes. So I was so excited about I'm still excited about it. And with that movie, it even brought more attention and awareness to the other artists. And then even with the Nakia, like he has now catapulted, he has his own, network and other movies and stuff like that. So we're talking about seeing what else we're going to do. And some people's like, is there going to be a part 2? So I just love it. I love it.
That was going to be my question. Like, okay, is there going to be a part 2? Because
we're trying to get him to do a part 2.
We could go somewhere after that ending. Yes. We could go a couple of different directions. So,
because what happened when she gets out of jail? Very interesting. Yes. So I'm telling people, I was like, okay, just ask them, let's see. But we have been in the talks about that. But we have some other project. I have some other projects that's coming up too. Playing a role as a detective with a twin sister. So, I'm working on an animation. So I'm loving that because I love doing voiceovers as well. So I'm just dipping and dabbling. I'm writing, and even for this season that's coming up for What's Your Chocolate, I was on the writing team for that. Okay. And what was exciting for me was when we were doing the table reads, the actors were all into it. Like you think you was a viewer, like what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And so the creator, Tim, he looked at me and I was like, what? He was like, you're good. I was like, okay. Okay. So we're going to dip and dabble into some more projects. So I'm excited about it. And like you said, definitely showing versatility because I don't want to get stuck into one type of role. So I'm so excited about that and the reception, like I said, for not What's Your Chocolate. Well, yes, What's Your Chocolate, but Quarantine Relationship.
Yes. Yes, it's super. And I'm telling you, it just blew my mind. And that's why I love this platform, because it gives me the opportunity to deep dive, data mining is some of the IT people out there. And I'm like, and I just felt like I got a gift bag and I just kept pulling stuff out. I was like, wait a minute. I watched this. I wouldn't even put 2 to 2 together. Oh, wait a minute. Right. I like it. So, I was like super, super, super sized when I'm like, I cannot wait to get here.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of want to go back. So what's your chocolate?
Okay.
How did you start with that? How
What's your
did that
chocolate?
become one of your opportunity? Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So one of a good friend, and he's like a brother, Marquise Woodard, and also Curtis Reynolds. And we had become very acquainted, a good family, and we were doing different projects and stuff together. And it was like, hey, we got this role, we got this web series that we're doing with our friend. So what do you think about coming in for this role? She's gonna play my wife. It's a small role. I was like, oh, okay. Acting chops. I love acting. Let me get into it. And 3 seasons later, I am one of the lead roles, lead actors in the web series. And I was able to bring Laura to life, where we can mix some of that of the character from Quarantine Relationship. But she was so relatable, Laura, even though they had money, they had power. It shows the struggles in a relationship, in a marriage, or just a relationship, period. Inner struggles of acceptance by society. What you feel that you want to make somebody else happy, and you realize you got to only make yourself happy. And then just saying, what's your chocolate? And people are like, what are you saying? What's your chocolate? But it's like, what is the thing that makes you tick? Or what is your goal? And I loved it because I was able to connect with other great actors that, oh my God, they're propelling in their own field as directors and writers as well. So we're like, yo, we're going to be like the next like big production family. It doesn't have to. We know that we're going to fly over to Hollywood, but we were like, we're going to be that of the East Coast. With just a lot of phenomenal writers and producers. So with that role, it became a leading role, and then it also catapulted me, like I said, in also being a director and a writer. So Tim strongly encouraged me, and I was like, I want to try that, and he was like, okay, try this, and I kept getting better and better. So I love that opportunity. It also allowed people to see and hear some of my music that was on the soundtrack, and then also, alongside different mainstream artists that came in, like Fantasia, and it's amazing. I love it.
I think it's a beautiful cast. And so I had like my little crushes, but I'm not gonna say it out loud. But yeah, I think that it's a great for it. I really wish it could be on like syndicated. Like, it's good. And we had another guest on the show that was speaking to the different platforms now, the different platforms that are owned by us, that are ran by us, that is going to put out quality material, storylines, outside of being needing to be saved, The Help, or a recovering drug addict or criminal, just having some positive role models. And yes, that does add little flavor to it, because it's not just us that deal with those things in life. But I think it's just such a great show. And I gotta keep it real, A Money. If the Oval, and I'm not a Tyler Perry hater, I'm not, but just some of the shows and the content that seems to be a little repetitive, if that can get on,
yes,
What's Your Chocolate needs to be on for sure.
Yes. Yes, and we're working on that. That is something that's huge that we're definitely advocating for. And then we do have some interest, so it's amazing. And like you said, we wanted representation, showing that it's more than just that in those type of roles, that we have money too, and we can articulate, and we have issues, and then different lifestyles. So it was just even incorporating the acceptance of that was amazing as well. And you can see that throughout all the episodes, and just the growth as well with the actors. So we love it that our audience was able to grow with us. And but definitely that is in the works, and we are definitely excited about the opportunities for that.
So Peace Be Still, that's another web series. How are you involved in that?
I'm excited about that. We did a crossover show.
Okay.
So with that, yes. So Laura had a friend that's also a cast member that's casted on Peace Be Still. So we were just like, okay, let's do it. And it was amazing. The filming of that day, and then it allowed us to be outside of our box, even though we were certain characters on a certain show. It still allowed us to bring out a good project, and I'm so excited about that, because you see it on other like you said, Queen, other mainstream TV networks, and then also you don't see it with a lot of us,
right?
And it was just amazing, and it was still positive, so it wasn't derogatory or anything like that. It was just a great opportunity to show that two different great projects and shows could actually do something together. So it was amazing. And I'm excited for everybody to see it.
Well, as you can see, Miss Forreal, we do our homework about our guests. So we don't just come on and ask you, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? What do you want to eat?
Yeah,
we want to talk about we want to talk about who you are and what you are. So with everything that's going on in your running your day, I would love to see a page out of your scheduler. What do you do to reset? What do you do to make yourself available to not just be, totally spent? What do you do to calm yourself? What do you do to rejuvenate yourself? What are some of those things that Miss Forreal says, hey, I gotta make time for this?
Oh gosh. And you're right, the schedule is crazy. So and I'm a mom. So I have to, I get up earlier. Now my regimen is 4:00 in the morning. So I get up and I do my routine where I'm meditating. I do my mantras, I read, and then I also listen to different aspects of inspiration and aspirations from Dr. Muji, Abram Hicks, to a lot of different people that allow me to unlearn and relearn. And I definitely have to do that. I have to shut down. I've learned that because I kept going and going and going. And that doesn't work. What they said, what is it? No sleep, #no sleep. That don't work.
Right.
And it affected my health. It's not good. And it had affected my health. And it was because I wasn't sleeping. I was doing 16-hour days, go take a nap for 2 hours and then start the day over. And so I incorporate definitely exercise, fitness, and then just living life, like cutting off everything, even if it's social media. Sometimes now I have people that work it for me, but I do a lot behind the scenes. So for myself and then other people, it's just like, okay, I got to cut off. So I even, go away from social media, because that can, be something in itself. Energy is everything. So even what you read and what you incorporate. So I do that. I'm back in the studio. So that is definitely my therapy. And then just writing. I have to do some form of that, exercise, and I just love it now that I have a sister. I call it the sister or queen tribe. So you're going to be hearing more about that. And it's like instilling and reiterating positivity among sisters. And, it's no judgment zone, and we just listen to each other, but we also inspire and hold each other accountable. So even if it's just like, what, this person did this again today. Why are you giving energy to that? You gave your energy away. Okay, we allowed you your 5 minutes or the last conversation, but stop giving your energy to that. Or what are you doing to change that? So and we don't have an attitude about anything. And I'm just like, okay, we're all beautiful. And like, even I tell other women that, you know, I come across, it's like, you don't have to be intimidated by me. It's just, we all beautiful in our own way. You beautiful, I'm beautiful. Let's do this. Like, it's no, for me, it shouldn't be a competition that way. It should be a competition within yourself to be better. So with that sister tribe, you know, we're doing that. And like you said, honing in on health awareness, spiritual awareness, mental health. That is key. Just because what people say is what you take in and what you give off. So I'm just inspired that I feel that I am in my purpose. And like my mentors tell me, and I'm like, I thought I'd accomplished a lot. And it was like, you have not scratched the surface yet. So I was like, it's like mogul, right? And it was like, you have not even scratched the surface on what you're supposed to do. This is only a smidget. And I now can understand where my grandmother was saying, you're supposed to touch the world. It's going to be through the TV, but other ways. You are here to touch the world. So when people say queen or deity or supreme, I understand. Now I don't understand. I overstand now. And what I need to do and how I need to uphold myself and not get caught up in the day-to-day or the human things, because you're here for a period of time and it's for a purpose. So sometimes I battle that. I'm not perfect. And I'm happy now that I have more people in my life that are on that same mindset, or they were like, okay, Reese, you're back. And I was like, what? So yeah, you left a little bit, but now you're back. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I love you right now for saying that. And you know, it's just the different aspect and what somebody else perception of what people can see. It may be how I was emoting or communicating it based on where they were at. They could have received it a different way. So I just love that having people, and don't be afraid. And this is something that I had to tell myself. And part of my mantra was, please make those that aren't good for me uncomfortable to be around me. Why? Because then I don't have to worry about the unnecessary time that I could be concentrating on what my purpose is. And what I had to add to that, because I said that, you know, I said January 1st, 2021, because 2020, everybody was asking 2020, which is vision. So the world, universe, God showed us what it was. You asked for it. So it was a mirror of how to see and work on yourself and how you're protected or how you're really not connected with your family. So it was that and growth. Are you going to or be stagnant? The other thing for 2021 is that, okay, you already saw the vision. So what you going to win with? So for me, I was like, everything who not going to be for me, make me uncomfortable. And when I start seeing the people, like the whole day, and I end up into that, the power enough and the will of what truth is. Because many times we have people that we will keep it on to, and they're only for a moment, and that's not, they already served their purpose. So what you doing? Becoming stagnant. So for me, that was just huge, and for me, just opening up more awakened, you know, and more conscious, and just inspiring. So I'm blessed to have a wide range of.
We started having some difficulties.
50. So I'm just like, okay.
Miss Forreal, you cut out and you disappear. So the last 20 seconds of what you were saying, the guest didn't hear you.
Okay. It's just what your purpose is and what you're supposed to be connected to. Like, you don't want to lose that. And I love that my fans are from young age, preteens to seniors. So I'm blessed that I can just go from whatever genre or whatever, you know, target market, and I can be inspired and they re-inspire me to do better. So I'm just elated for that opportunity, because a lot of people, they are lost, so they don't even know what their purpose is. I don't know what my full purpose is, but I, you know, accept the journey that I'm on and what I'm supposed to be doing. So That's the best part.
Well, I will be waiting for my invitation to the Queendom, and I will be so excited to do whatever and be a part of that, because it is always about connection. It is about influence, and it is about making sure that we do not stay in one place for too long. We grow.
Correct.
I always look at the picture of trees and when how they're full, they're green, plentiful, but they leave. The leaves fall, they shed.
Yes.
To make sure that they make space and adjustments for the new growth.
Come
and
through.
We have to do that with people, with activities, with habits, behavior. We have to do the same thing.
Yes.
And when you don't have, you don't have other people around you with that same kind of mindset and that same kind of schedule, you feel like there's something wrong with you.
Yes.
But really, you're active. You're doing what you need to do and how you're designed.
And you're outgrowing and going into transition into your better self and a higher self. So I love that, and I forgot to share. And matter of fact, you're going to be the first media to hear this news. So
we like to be the first.
Yes, I was just thinking about it. So, because we were talking about empowerment, and then I just love what you just said. And so it has been, we've been working on it for a while. We have not announced it, but I am going on 2 tours. One is with Kenny Lattimore. So we're looking at the summer, and then Lady Empowerment Tour. That's going to include her, Janae Keough, Danny Stevenson, myself, and the Gigi's Band. And it's all about women empowerment. And of course, the whole ticket is females. And so what I love about it, it's I think we've already locked in 16 states or cities, I should say. So going from, and I love it that the first 2 for both tours is going to start off in Charlotte. So Kenny Lattimore and I, we're supposed to be at Moorhead Tavern. And then we're going to work our way down to South Carolina. And then for the Lady Empowerment Tour, we're going from Charlotte, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Texas, Louisiana, Florida. So I'm so excited. And they've also asked me to be the host. I'm so amazed. Like I said, the only thing I can do is say that I'm grateful for the opportunities. And they say the same thing as far as the message that I'm projecting as an artist or just an individual with my shows. Like, people need that, and the encouragement. So I'm so excited. And Sheen Magazine is the sponsor for Kenny Lattimore and the tour that I'm on with Kenny Lattimore and the Gigi's. The Gigi's, they're an extraordinary female band from Atlanta. In the lead, yes, Lauren. She is also, and when I say she's amazing, all 3 of them are amazing. And what I love about it, I used to play. I'm a drummer. I haven't played the drums in a long time, but I'm a drummer. She is a guitarist. Is
there anything you can't do, Miss Forreal? Is there anything?
The only thing I can say, maybe my love life. Because I love music right now. I love like trying everything. But that's one I think I'm working on that one. But I love it that they play instruments, the keyboard, the guitar, and the drums. And so it's exciting, and you already know her, she's a musician. And it's just so great. Even with Lauren, she is the bass guitarist for Beyonce. She's played with Bruno Mars, and so many other like big names. And she's number 2 in the world as a pianist. So I'm like, as a bassist, I'm sorry, her sister plays the keyboard, but I'm just like, oh my goodness. So we have some things that are in the works, and it's all about women empowerment and sisterhood. And even from the first time meeting, it wasn't anything but acceptance. It was like queens among queens. Yep. And I'm so excited about this, y'all. I don't even know if y'all know. Like,
I'm excited. Like my whole heart and chest is jumping. I'm like, yes, I get to see this in Charlotte. I'm gonna be there. You're gonna hear my loud mouth. You're gonna hear me. And just so you know, we have a guest that is in. David Burns said he is a fan of your music. He's watching us from Cedar Hill, Texas. And he basically said Life of the Party is his song. He wants to know who you collab with as far as your producers. And he wants to know who you may be collaborating with in the future. So you kind of already answered his questions.
Okay, well, thank you regarding Life of the Party. And just being a supporter. I have on my list right now, my brother, I call him my brother and my friend to the end, producer 20. He has produced and it's called The One. So it's kind of like a pop track. And what we love about it, and like we started from scratch, was that he only was like really recording rappers. So he was like, sis, I don't even know. I was like, let's make the beat and let's get it going, and then I can record it, somewhere else. And so we did that. So I'm excited about that. And I had to listen with DJ VIP is Nipsey Hussle's DJ. And he's in California, and we got good reception of that through record pools. Other producers I still have Q and Maximus, he's the producer for Life of the Party. We did that together on my birthday. And I have some other producers that are up and coming that have worked with some really big names in the industry. So I'm just excited. So we got some other things that are coming. I've got a country song. So I'm just dipping and dabbling, Queen, dipping and dabbling. We are, I'm saying that we are the epitome of earth. We bring life. We are the vessels, I should say. So I'm just going to bring out whatever comes. So I am very elated about that. Yes.
Wow. Well, yes, Charlie, you're going to have to come home and we can go to the concerts together because I'm there. I'm there.
Yes. And I'm looking forward to it coming as well. So I think I have Sons of Funk, I'm sorry. That's the people. We have a beautiful song on Instagram. And I am just so honored that they're coming like, we want to work with you, your energy, like everything. Fabo, like he is extraordinary. So we have some songs that are coming out, and what I love about even with them being pioneers, like they're still having the top 5 on the DRT independent charts. So that's like the billboards for independent artists. So they're doing their thing. Reinvention is a great thing. So I do have some things that I work with another family. And this is amazing. King James Worthy in Atlanta. He did a lot of work with so many people from I forgot his name that quick, but Will Smith's son, to so many different people. And he came out as an artist himself on a project, but it's just a lot of people that had so many different impacts in the industry. I am just so elated that not only being associated by it, but being respective names that they're able to work with me on different projects. So it's fun when people like Kareesh, I don't know who she is or who is she? And then when they start saying it, I was like, it doesn't matter how many people, it's knowing the right people. So I love that. And it just feels like everything that I've been putting in tirelessly, that it's really now coming to life. So I'm so excited about it.
Well, I want to put out there that once you're done with both tours, if you don't mind giving us an hour out of your time. So we got to hear about some backstage stories. We got to hear about how you're feeling after coming off of the tours, if you don't mind, we are inviting you back to ATRT at the Roundtable just to have another conversation with you. This has been awesome. This has been great. Do you mind telling the family how to follow you? What's how they can connect?
No problem at all. And I definitely want to tap back in with you while I'm out on the road. Because I want to reach out and be able to connect with you so you can see, because I'm still a Carolina girl, dropping that flavor all over the world. So I'm excited. So definitely got to reach back. So I want you to definitely follow me on all platforms. I'm getting some things, what is called reinvented, and they're in the works to do some upgrades, but you always can follow me on Kareesh Forreal. That's KAREESH and Culture Buzzing with Kareesh. That is my podcast now / TV show. And it's Culture Buzzing Kareesh on IG. So we had to do another page. Our first page was hacked. So I'm just excited. We're looking for how it's able to touch so many lives through so many different avenues. So look out for me. I'm looking out, oh my gosh, for just all the other artists that are now coming into fruition of knowing that they have to be serious about it. So I'm so excited about our city. Shout out to, even the baby and that whole team. I was there looking from the beginning. So it's so great to see that other people are really getting it, because it's 90% business and then 10% talent. So you definitely, have to be serious about it. And that means drop off and come back, because that, to me, that's a hobby. Then, you're acting. You play the role that you want to be an artist. So that's what I say. Just be true to yourself. Don't worry about other people, because nobody can be the better you. So I'm so excited about my art culture in the Carolinas, what it's going to be in the world. So I'm looking forward to coming to the round table, and we're going to have a feast.
That's it. I appreciate it. We want to thank you again for coming and giving us a moment of your time. We want to thank you for being so genuine, so delightful to have on the show. We cannot wait to check in with you on the road. We can't wait to check in with you after the tour, and we look forward to everything that you have. Coming up.
Thank you so much.
Money, you got something to close us out with?
Mr. Burns, thank you for checking in. Charlie, appreciate you as always. Keep speaking everything into fruition, Kareesh, and I'm sure everything that you just scratching the surface of is going to come true.
It's going to come true. Thank you so much.
Yes. So until next time, family, hold on for us, Kareesh. Until next time, family, we'll see you next week.
Bye.